Hi, I'm Annette from itsadelight.com, and today I am going to show you how to make one of my favorite dressings, which is ranch dressing. And I think we all love ranch dressing, so this is just a common thing, ranch is, but this is going to be a healthy version with no bad oils. We're going to use good vinegar, good oils, great spices, and you can just get the best mayonnaise that you that you use with no sugar, and you're going to end up with a great ranch dressing. We're just going to start right out with the oil first, and I am just using avocado oil. You could use olive oil, or you can actually use whatever oil you want, but I would just encourage you to use a nice good avocado or an olive oil. So we need 2 tablespoons of oil, and then we need 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. So mine's already measured out, and I'm going to put that right in here. And another thing I'm going to say to you while I make this is just going to make a small jam jar size, okay? This is just a little 4-ounce jar. You can easily double this recipe and get, a double batch. But I have found this for us is pretty perfect. We like to use this for about a week. Just use this up, then we're ready for one of my new dressings. And so I don't want to keep a ton of it around, but you just do whatever suits you and works for your family. So just so you know, this recipe size is just going to make you that amount. Next, we are going to put in our sour cream, and I have a 1/2 cup of sour cream here. See if I can get it in there neatly. Okay, and next we're going to do our red wine vinegar, and that gets 1.5 teaspoons. 1 and then 1/2. And what I would tell you about the red wine vinegar is that is a favorite one of mine that I like to use. You could use just a white vinegar or like a rice vinegar too. Some people do. That's a little bit more mild. Apple cider vinegar is going to be quite a bit more tart, so then maybe use less. But this red wine vinegar just gives your dressings a wonderful, wonderful flavor. So next I have my spices in here, okay? And this is what's going to make this ranch dressing be delicious, is all of our spices. So I have dried onions in here, 1.5 teaspoon dried onions, 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and I actually blend up my own, but there's lots of good Italian seasonings out there, and I will even put a link below. A lot of you know that I shop with iHerb, and I have that on my website. If you're looking for my favorites, you can always go to that button. It'll show you the favorites I buy, but I will include a really good Italian that you could get from iHerb also down below in this recipe information. So the other thing we have in there is so we've got salt in there also. We've got garlic powder and onion powder. And y'all know I use onion granules and garlic granules. It's the same thing as powder, just doesn't have the anti-caking agent in it. And then I got a couple shakes of black pepper in here. So we're gonna put that in. So that's what we have for those spices right there. And then the last spices we're gonna put in is parsley, and we use 1/2 teaspoon of parsley in there, and 1/2 teaspoon of dried chives. I think chives makes ranch taste delicious. And actually, even a friend had said to me, wow, do you have any dill in there? So that's an idea. You could definitely add dill in here too, and that probably would be delicious. I'm just gonna grab a knife, and I think I can just stir this in real easily. Okay, so then I just stir this up. Another thing I love about this is you just make it all in one jar, and gosh, there's just no mess. So easy. Just give it a really, really good stir. And then it is quite thick. So the last ingredient we put in here is 3 teaspoons, which is the same as 1 tablespoon of almond milk, or you can use regular milk, or you could even use water if you wanted to, okay? And I know I need all of this. You could just start out with 1 teaspoon, and see if you wanted all three teaspoons in there to get it to the thickness, or rather what I should say, the thinness of what you like. And I guess what I would also say is that it does tend to thicken up a little bit more overnight, you know, like as a couple days later it thickens up. Because we've got that dried onion, you know, that's in there, and all those other dried herbs, it is going to get a little bit thicker. And you might like that. Some might like that because you could actually even use it for dip. But nonetheless, this is ranch dressing, so I like to have it just a little bit thinner. And if it still isn't thin enough for you, then you can add a little bit more almond milk. And I might do that to this one too, because it seems like it could be just a little bit thinner. And that's what I have sometimes. All right, so I have just one more thing I want to share here before I put these wonderful BLT salads together. I put in a half a cup of sour cream, and it really only needs a 4th cup. So I got that mixed up. I was thinking a double recipe. And so just be sure you follow the recipe below. That will be correct, okay? So when I seen this was a little too full, your jam jar won't be quite this full, I knew that I did a little hiccup, and that was it. So to make a BLT salad, I love to use just some tomatoes that are fresh out of the garden, like I say. I know a lot of people are into the pumpkin spice season right now, and I love that too, but there is something about having BLTs late into the fall and into the summer and even into October. If we still have tomatoes that late, we will be trying to eat a BLT sandwich or a BLT salad in some way, shape, or form, because we love that variety. I am going to put a few cucumbers on also, just because I have some of those in the garden and I love that also. Okay, and then when I do my bacon, I just literally just cut it up with scissors. I say kitchen scissors, but these aren't real kitchen scissors, but they work wonderful. And I have about 3 or 4 pack in my cupboard. Have a little fresh parsley from the garden today, so I'm actually going to take some of that. Again, love that delicious fresh green. We'll just add some of that on the salad too. So many wonderful health benefits. If you don't know all the wonderful health benefits of parsley, check out my Shake on the Goodness course. I teach about parsley in that course. On a little fresh grated cheese. I just have a white cheddar. And I'm not a person who loves a ton of cheese on my salad, so some people might enjoy more, but I just love just a nice little what I call dusting. And last, we are going to drizzle on our wonderful homemade ranch dressing. And it is going to be delicious. BLT salad with homemade ranch dressing. And one other little tip, actually, that I wanted to tell you about also as I put the dressing on the second salad is a great way to make a Mexican ranch dressing. So easy. Just use your full ranch recipe, and then you can add some taco seasoning to it and a couple dashes of salsa, and you're good to go. You now have a whole nother dressing to use for all different kinds of fun ways. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you will enjoy and just love a BLT salad with your homemade ranch dressing, and I'll see y'all in the next video.